Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Celeste, and it's a new year, 2020. Hopefully, your new year has started out spectacular and you are thinking about all the wonderful things that are going to be coming this year. In January, there's something that I always do is I always get out my new planner. I got it for Christmas, and I began charting my goals for the year and also thinking about the previous year to see what really worked well and what didn't work well so that I don't repeat the insanity of that again. So, one of those areas is my finances. I began reflecting upon that, thinking about what really worked well for me in 2019. And so I wanted to share with you how much did I make in 2019 on my side hustles. So let's take a journey through that. Before we begin in talking about 2019, I want to go back to 2018. I think this is very important for you to really see realistically of how these side hustles have worked for me. Now, in 2018, I did not start doing side hustles until about March. And the reason why that I did this is for several reasons. Got married, and so had to relocate. And also, my mother began getting very sick. And so I really needed to have a job that would allow me great flexibility in caring for her in a different state, but also be able to travel with my husband when he was traveling for his job. We like to travel together. And so I have to admit, thinking about leaving a steady paycheck every 2 weeks, a employer that pays or contributes part of your retirement, pays for your health insurance premiums, monthly premiums. Thinking about leaving all that was a little scary for me, but I took a leap of faith and said, well, let's see what it does. So in 2018, I began teaching online. That is my background as far as my educational experience. And also began substitute teaching in a local preschool. I was doing a little bit of writing in my Etsy business. So for the for the year of 2018, not for the month, but the year of 2018, and I'm looking at my little cheat sheet here, I earned a total of $7,290. Now, that's not a lot of money, I have to admit. It's not great, but it was a start. It was a start, getting my feet wet in something new while still taking care of my mother. My mother was really, really sick. I mean, in the hospital 3 or 4 times a year. And so that's part of the reason why that number is low. But another reason is because I really was just taking things slow, making sure I do things with excellence and that I didn't overload with a lot of different companies at one time. So at the end of 2018, I thought, well, I'm going to be teaching for a full year now, so we'll see how this really is increasing. In addition, I also added 3 other companies in June of 2019. So if you looked at my previous videos, you will know that at one time I was working for 4 companies. QKIDS is my main gig. It's my favorite company. My second company that I added in June was GOGO Kids. I also added Magic Ears and Cambly. Now, since June, I have pared my teaching down to 3 companies. I eliminated Magic Ears. Now, I know there's a lot of videos about that, but for me, I had a great experience with Magic Ears. It's just that their platform and my teaching style really didn't fit well together. So, after about a month of realizing that, I tried different things, was very appreciative for all of the employees of Magic Ears. I decided that it'd be best for me not to teach for them. So now I teach for QKids, GOGO Kid, and Cambly. And so I began those other companies in June. So let's look at the total number for 2019 and then we'll break it down to show you how much I made for each of my side hustles. So for 2019, the total that I earned was $20,769.97. A great improvement from 2018, wouldn't you say? So that was actually an increase of $13,479.97. So, again, this is not something that if I had to depend on this for my sole income, I could do. This is not really a number that really provides for my family's needs, but it contributes a great deal to providing for part of our needs. So I'm very thankful for that. So let's break it down into the categories that contributed to that number of $20,769.97. So we'll break it down from the highest to the lowest. And the first one, where most of my money came from, was from online teaching. Again, I currently work for 3 companies. I work about 2.5 to 3 hours every morning. Towards the end of 2019, I began adding some Sunday morning, Saturday night, Friday nights, and maybe a few other nights during the week because I knew Christmas was coming and I needed to boost that number to help pay for those gifts. So, my online teaching for 2019 was a total of 15,000. Looking at my cheat sheet again, 211 and 46 cents. Not too shabby for just a couple hours every morning. Now, this number also includes teaching and also some secondary opportunities that they have provided. What are those include? For me, those included maybe some guest blogging or some videos that they asked me to do for supplemental materials for their company. Some companies offer secondary positions for doing, workshops for them, or recruiting is one, but also maybe in the hiring process. I don't have those positions. So this is just from teaching and doing a few of those videos, blogging occasionally throughout the year. So again, not a bad number just for 2.5, 3 hours every morning. Great side hustle. So let's look at the second one. The second one was through consulting. Now, my background is in children's ministry. I've spent a couple of decades serving at different churches. Some churches call them children's pastors, others call them children's ministers or children's directors, whatever your church may call it. But I spent a number of years in that. So there have been churches that have invited me to come and do several different things for them. One of those was going in and looking at their space and thinking of how it could be better utilized. So I worked with architects and nationwide companies to redo this space, make it more effective and efficient, and also give it a facelift, adding some fun decor to it to really make it pop and exciting for the kids. Also, what I've done is that churches would hire brand new children's ministers. And so they would ask me to come and mentor them for 3 or 4 months. And so I would spend time on the phone with them, or I would go down once a month to do one on one interactions, follow them on Sunday morning, kind of be their extra pair of eyes and ears, really to help them be successful in the beginning of their ministry. And then another thing that we did is that a church was looking for a qualified and competent preschool and children's minister. So we helped them through the hiring process and found them a viable candidate that they did indeed hire for this position. So through all of that, this brought in a net of $27.50. Again, you may think that's not a lot of money, but let's think about the time that I put into it. Maybe 1 hour a week for just a few months. So for 1 hour a week, I think this is a really good number. So I'm very thankful for those consulting opportunities. A third side hustle that I do is writing. I'm a contractor through a publishing company, And this writing is to provide missions education curriculum for ages 3, 4s, 5s, and kindergarten. And the task is to help them develop a great biblical worldview. And I love this because, I've traveled all over and I love different cultures and different countries. And so this really allows me to take that niche in my love and helping young children really gain an appreciation for people all over the world, to know how we are alike in so many ways, and some of our differences, like in the food that we eat, or how our houses may look differently, but also helping them develop a love for people of every race and from every country. This is one of my passions, and so I'm very thankful to be able to do this. This is my fifth contract for 2020, but in 2019 they asked me to write a book for them, and so through that income of writing, I earned $2,300. Now, I will have to admit that it was a lot of hard work. The deadlines were very hard and fast, and a lot of content had to be turned in by those deadlines. So I worked really hard for this amount of money, but it was a great joy for me. So maybe it's not what other publishing companies would have paid me, but it was a passion of mine and it was a joy. And so I'm very thankful for that number. A fourth side hustle, I have one, two, three, four, five of them, is through Plexus. Now, Plexus, if you don't know, is a all-natural plant-based supplement. My husband and I in 2019 really made a commitment to be healthier. And so one of those was to take Plexus. We have a little pink drink that has a lot of vitamins in it, a lot of supplements that we take. And we have noticed that we have more energy, that we just feel better, you know. Better about ourselves, and we feel better internally. We just became an ambassador just to get the discounts. We had really no intentions of, telling people about this or trying to sell it. We just wanted to get the discount for becoming an ambassador. But through just people noticing that we felt better, they began asking. And so through, we have a few customers through that. So for the year, we earned not a lot, but I'm going to tell you that I think it's a great amount of money. $427.25. Now you're thinking, why is that a great amount of money? Because I only talked to one person for an hour about a product, and because they are a repeat customer, I've earned a total of $427.25. I think that's a really good hourly rate. So again, it was a great product. I just told people when they asked me, hey, you look like you have a lot more energy. Well, I do. What are you doing differently? Oh, well, I'm taking Plexus. Well, tell me about it. And just that 1 hour, I'm earning $427.25. That's paid for groceries for about a month, especially if I go to Costco. So my last side gig that I do is my Etsy business. Now, I'm going to have to admit, my Etsy business for 2019 did not do as well as it did in 2018. Now, what do I sell on Etsy? As I've mentioned before in previous videos, both of my parents suffered through cancer. My dad passed away of it. My mother, thankfully, is a survivor. She's doing better. But when they were traveling, either still driving or they were riding, the seatbelt was very uncomfortable because both of them had a port put in. And if you don't know, a port is placed underneath the skin to allow the nurses to gain easy access to administer the chemo. This saves their veins to have those easily accessed for blood transfusions, to administer fluids when they became dehydrated, to take blood if they needed to do a blood sample to check their levels, and etc. So this was very, very important. And when that seatbelt hit it, my parents, oh, it was just so painful, and so they would not wear their seatbelt correctly. So, what I thought of is what can I do to make it easier for them to still be independent, for them to get out, because those four walls in a house begin to literally cave in, especially if you're going through chemo. So I made what I call a seatbelt pillow or a port pillow that attaches to the seatbelt. So it provides a cushion between a chemo patient's port and also the seatbelt. It's also can be used for people that have pacemakers or other things that have been inserted for medical reasons there. Now again in 2018 I did a great booming business for the first time of putting this out on Etsy. But in 2019, I only made $81.26. Now, this isn't a great deal of money, but I did not put a whole lot of effort into it for 2019 because again, my mother was really sick. She had been in the hospital 3 times. I was taking her to doctor's appointments every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes twice a day. So I just kept my store stocked, but I didn't do a lot of marketing for this and still earned $81.26. So not too shabby for that. Again, I'm not spending a lot of time on my side hustles, but yet I still made over $20,000. So I'm very thankful for that. Again, I couldn't leave my brick and mortar job and just live on this solely. Thankfully, through combined incomes between my husband and me, we are doing well. And so I'm hoping to see this even increase for 2020. I'm still planning to do my online teaching, and hopefully I'll be doing more recruiting and maybe be able to do some of the side secondary positions if they offer them to me. I do have a fifth contract for my writing, so I continue to do that. We'll see what Plexus, Etsy, and my consulting business do. But I'm also very excited to see how working for a full year for 3 companies will really make those numbers increase. Again, very minimal time, but earning a great deal of money for my time. So I'm going to continue this side hustle business and we'll just see where it takes me. If you are interested in knowing about anything about any of my side hustles, I've included my email below. I will be very honest with you. I will, like I shared here, I don't do a lot of marketing for Etsy, but yet I still made $81. I'll be very honest with you about my journey through each of those. And if you are interested in teaching online, or if you're interested in Plexus or beginning an Etsy business, feel free to use any of my referral codes or to email me for more information. I would be honored to share what I know with you to help you be successful in your side hustles for 2020. If you're interested in if you're interested in being, let's say this correctly, I have this cold that my nephews and nieces gave me for Christmas. Thank you very much. But if you are interested in becoming an online teacher, I've also included my referral codes. One of the great rewards of teaching for an online teaching company is that when you successfully refer someone, they will give you an incentive bonus. So I hope that if you are interested in working for QKIDS, which is an amazing company, GOGO Kids, which is a lot of fun, or Cambly, which is interesting to speak to adults from all over the world, I hope that you will use my referral codes and that way you can get started. And I would be glad to mentor you through the process. So I hope that 2020 will be the best year for you financially. And until next time, Happy New Year and happy teaching.